New court documents just dropped in Lil Durk's federal murder for hire case, and they're giving us a better idea of how prosecutors plan to present their case. Now, these documents do not determine whether Lil Durk is guilty or innocent. They're procedural filings filed before trial. Today, I'm going to break them down in plain English so you understand exactly what's happening. First, here's a quick recap. Federal prosecutors accuse Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks, and several co-defendants of participating in what's described as a murder-for-hire conspiracy. The government alleges members of his alleged crew targeted people connected to rival rapper Quando Rondo. According to prosecutors, the intended target survived, but another person was killed. Lil Durk has pleaded not guilty, and the government still has to prove every allegation beyond a reasonable doubt. The first filing isn't about new evidence. Instead, prosecutors are asking the judge for permission to introduce business records without bringing company employees into court to testify. The filing says the government wants records from multiple companies admitted as self-authenticating business records under the federal rules of evidence. These organizations include United Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Uber, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile,
REI, Signature Flight Support, Starjet, exotic rental companies.
The government argues these companies have already certified that the records are authentic, so prosecutors shouldn't have to call a records custodian from every company just to prove the documents are real. Think about it this way. Instead of flying in an Uber employee just to say, yes, these are Uber records, prosecutors want the certification paperwork to do that job. This is actually very common in federal cases. Without this motion, prosecutors might need witnesses from every phone company, airline, rental business, and rideshare company. That could take days. If the judge approves this request, those records can generally come into evidence much faster. The filing also makes something very clear. Prosecutors are not asking the judge to automatically accept every document as evidence. The defense can still object to individual records for other legal reasons. This motion only concerns authentication and the business records hearsay exception, not whether every exhibit should ultimately be admitted. Fourth, superseding indictment. The second filing explains why prosecutors updated the indictment. They say they discovered a legal issue involving one of the original counts. Originally, one stalking charge involved multiple alleged victims. The government says that could create what's called a duplicity problem, meaning multiple offenses may have been combined into a single count. To fix that, prosecutors split the allegation into two separate counts. Count 3 now alleges stalking of one victim using a dangerous weapon. Count 4 separately alleges stalking of another victim resulting in death. Importantly, prosecutors state that this is the only substantive change made in the fourth superseding indictment, and that it was done to address this legal issue. So what do these filings actually tell us? Not that there's new evidence. Not that anyone has been found guilty. Instead, they show prosecutors preparing for trial by making it easier to introduce certified business records from airlines, phone companies, rideshare companies, and other businesses. Correcting the wording and structure of one part of the indictment by separating a stalking allegation into two counts. These are normal pretrial steps in a federal criminal case. The trial will determine whether the government proves its allegations, and Lil Durk remains presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court.